Hello everybody and welcome to a new video of Luck Poker. Today we are going to study with the GTO Wizard Trainer. Recently they created a new version of it and it's pretty cool. We are going to focus on the big blind versus button situation in a single raise spot. It's one of the most important spots in poker, so it's definitely worth to study. We are going to focus on the big blind to make things a bit more difficult, and let's go with the training. So, trainer, as you see, I already have 67 hands. That's because, unluckily, I already tried to record this video, but I wasn't recording, and that's pretty frustrating, but let's move on. So, we have 7-8 of spades, and we are going to check this board. I don't think we have a non betting range here, or at least not a decent one. So I'm going to check, and if villain bets, it could have been a check raise, definitely. I think on this turn we might both check or lead out. I don't think there is a best solution, which is like 100%, and with 13 on the randomizer here, I think we're just going for the check. Personally, with the randomizer, I use 0 is low frequency, 100 is high frequency, like the more aggressive choice. We're going to check, and yeah, we are in that 13%, luckily. On this river, I don't think we're going to bet, but it's definitely going to be a check call. Oh, wow, it's going to be a bet. I didn't expect us to bet this, but once we check, as I said, it's for sure check call, and it is. Let's move on. 10-5, suited. I am going to check this. And this probably is going to be a check fold. We'll defend anything. We'll defend a lot of hands, especially when you have a double backdoor and things like this. But 10-5 suited of clubs, it's just terrible here. Just a fold, nothing else to do. Jack 9 off. This board hits. I don't think we're donk betting usually. Of course, the solver will always have some donk betting range, or almost always will have a donk betting range. But when the frequency is very low, and it's usually low unless the board is 8 high or lower, I would just check. And even if the solver bets like 10% of the times, I'm not gonna consider that. So here we check, and if villain bets, we were gonna call. Turn is the ace, not the best turn in general, of course, when we are pre-flop callers. I mean, we have some, but he has more than us. Also, he has some decent equity draws like king, queen, king, jack, things like this that we sometimes 3-bet. I am going to check this, and we'll check, and he checks back. Interesting river. I think we can probably mix this, but I prefer to bet it. And given regarding the sizing, I think we should probably go for the small one, but let's see. Inaccuracy, so probably the sizing was not the best. And when he raises, I think we're just gonna call. We are not gonna do anything else. Okay, let's see what was my inaccuracy. Yeah, I just picked a size which wasn't the ideal. He preferred to bet big, which makes total sense. I mean, there's nothing wrong with betting big there. Ace 5 off. I am going to check here, and if villain bets, is gonna be a call. We are not gonna raise with no kicker. And with no kicker still, I'm just gonna check and hope he bluffs. He bets, and I am going to call. No reason to raise still. River is the 4. No need to bet with no kicker again. I'm gonna check, and if he bets, it's gonna be a call. But yeah, that's nice. Let's move on. Ace now suited. I am going to check this, and it's not gonna be a check fold unless I guess if villain overbet, maybe we could start folding this. But in general, versus a standard sizing, this is always gonna be a check call. I don't think we're raising that either. I think we raise more frequently hands which have, yes, a backdoor, but lower showdown value. With ace high and 2 overcards, I feel like we are good enough to call, and that's it. Yeah, it was mainly a call. Turn is the 5. We are going to check and probably fold to big bet. If villain bets really small, maybe we can call, but No need for that. The ace, it's the river. I will still check. Probably the solver sometimes bets here, leads out. Anyway, we have a good number, a low number on the randomizer, and I don't think it's 100% bet. So I think it's just gonna be a check here. Yeah, almost. Actually, we should have bet a bit more, but yeah, it was acceptable, the check. And when he bets, we just call. I think that's our only option, and the hand was played pretty well. 10-8, okay, we have a second pair. I think on this board, well, for sure on this board, we're not gonna have a decent donk betting range, so I'm just going to check. And if he bets, it would have been a call. On the king turn, I think we're still checking with 10 no kicker. Maybe we start betting with the 10 and better kicker, but I think here it's just gonna be a check. He bets. I think there is nothing else to do but call. We don't block any draw, that's pretty cool. We don't have spade or heart, and we don't have a jack or a queen, things like this. So it's pretty straightforward. The river is pretty bad. I think we're gonna check fold this. We have no decent blockers to make this call. He makes it a bit more than half pot, I mean about half pot, but I think we have better calls than this. Even having 10 and 8 of hearts would be better. I'm gonna fold. Okay, let's see this spot. I'm interested to see what are we leading on the turn and what are we calling on the river, even if we made it right. I think it's still interesting to see this spot. And let's see the turn. So on the turn, we should have bet with, let's see. No, actually we're not betting 10. I thought that we could have bet sometimes with a decent 10, but no. Anyway, I mean, we're leading out very, very small, but I expected that we are not leading out that much. The king anyway is not good for us, and the board is still good for him. So yeah, I mean, what we're betting, we're doing some overbet, mainly some draw and some value hand. It makes sense. So yeah. And let me see on the river what we are calling after villain bets. Regarding 10-8 is always a fold. If we had 10-9 off, of course 10-9 off as a better blocker because we blocked the straight, one of the straights. So yeah, 10-9 was a decent call. 10-jack starts being a call if we had the spade version. And for the rest, yeah, queen 10, of course it's better call than the rest. Sometimes we also bluff actually queen 10. Or raise. I don't know if you, to be honest, I don't know if the solver here is raising for value or as a bluff. I think it's a bluff. And okay, let's move back to the trainer. Let's move on, and we have pocket nines. This board sucks, my friends. I'm gonna check on a small bet. I am gonna call on a big bet. Luckily, feeling overbet and makes our life much easier. Now it's an easy fold for us. Okay, 7-4 suited, we have a mid pair on this nice board. I think on this board we have a donk betting range, and but I don't think I'm leading out that much with 4-7 suited. You see, 20% of the times was still a donk bet. And once we check, I think we should just call. It was considering the raise, which doesn't surprise me too much, but yeah, the call was the best choice. We check, and villain overbets, I think, is now a fold. We have some aces, we have some hands with better equity, so it's just gonna be a fold here. 4 deuces, okay, I mean, this is a board where maybe the solver sometimes will lead out, but certainly not with this hand. We're just gonna check fold this. Villain checks back the ace, no good news for us, still gonna check and fold. Easy peasy. Let's move on. Okay, we have jack 8. It's just gonna be a check fold, I think, on this board. Maybe if villain bets super small, we might consider betting, but if not, no. Queen of spades here, not the best in general. Just gonna check and fold. Villain checks back. This is a tricky spot. To be honest, I didn't study this situation that much when the 4 spade, the 4th flush hits on the river in action like this. So I'm just guessing. And I guess we have once again, I mean, it's not terrible to bluff this, I think. Might make sense. I don't think we're doing it every single time, so given we have a small number here on the randomizer, I think we should just check anyway. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this combo with the 8 and no spade sometimes bluffs. We are definitely not gonna win this hand, so yeah. Let's check. Yeah, it was 50-50, so no surprises there, and I am going to call this. But yeah, I'm happy that I I guess right that this was sometimes a bluff. Let's move on. King 8, that's nice flop, I would say, and I think we can also check raise this. Why not? Let's start with a check. Villain bets. We have a very small number on the randomizer, but I think this is raised more often than not. Let's raise. I don't know. I thought much more. Well, let's see with the sizing. Maybe it was mixing the sizes. That's why it was only 38%. As played, I think here we should bet and bet big, my friends. Probably like an overbet. Yeah, it does remind the overbet, even if it's not his favorite sizing. The river sucks instead. I think here either we check or we bet pretty small. I am going for the check, given the slow number on the randomizer inaccuracy. So yeah, it's not discounted from it, but yeah. And he shoves, and I think this is a 6 pot. Definitely a sick one. I don't think we can fold with the king. I don't know if he's shoving. He's probably shoving some 8. And if he's shoving some 8, I don't think we can fold king 8. Yeah. Whoa. That's a bad beat. Anyway, let's see what was wrong with what I did. So let's see on the flop if it was raising less frequently or if it was just a sizing matter. Yeah, on the flop it was definitely a raise, just about the sizing. If you use only one size, it was fine. So no problem with the raise. And on the turn, I did the overbet, which he liked, but he preferred. I mean, he bet all sizes. He mixes. The overbet is okay, but he preferred the 75% one. On the river, I checked, and yeah, he preferred to bet small, as I guessed. But yeah. Small inaccuracy, DV is basically the same as you see. So yeah, I'm all in all happy to have played this hand like this. It's okay. Didn't make any big mistakes, and sometimes this hand can get tricky. And I'm curious to see if he's shoving the 8 on the river. Actually, let's see. I think yes. Let's see. This is just out of curiosity to see if what is the shoving button, the shoving range of the button once we check on the river. And yeah, he's shoving 8 queen. Well, 8 queen is full house, so I guess he's shoving 8 queen. No, then he's shoving like king 8 is the only 8 with the shoving, which he is shoving, yeah. And well, of course, also ace 8, which is full house as well. And but of course, he's shoving also some bluffs, so that's why we're calling with king 8. But yeah, it would have been a bit. I mean, some of his value is full house with the 8, so we blocked we blocked those, and so I'm not surprised that we have to call that anyway, even if you don't expect him to have some weaker hands with shove for value. He does actually, because he shoves also. Okay, heart flush. Okay, yeah. I mean, we don't expect him to have. It's a bluff catcher basically. So if he's bluffing, we win. If he's not bluffing, we lose. But it's a bluff catcher with good blockers, so that's why we called. As simple as that. Let's move on. Let's play a few more minutes. Next hand. King 10. We are going to check this. We're not gonna have a donk betting range here. He overbets. I really hate the overbet, but I think we have to call with king 10 and the king of spades. We have decent blocker here, and we also have some potential equity to get on the turn. I think it's maybe a call, but if he folds, it wouldn't be surprising to me. Yeah, sometimes he folds. Now we have to check, and let's hope it doesn't overbet again. And it does. Oh boy. I think it's a fold at this point. I mean, we block so many bluffs from on his side here And yeah, you block his king, but of course you could have other value hands. And also when we hit, I mean, I think it's just a fold here. When he overbet twice, might be a mistake, but I think it's a fold. No. Whew. Nice. Let's see what we're calling to the second overbet. I think it's interesting to see what is our button calling range once he overbets twice. And so the button here, let's see, well, big blind, our action is our interest. We call with queen 10, we call with queen jack, of course the two pairs. We, well, 10 jack is of course a two pair, so we call. Ace 10 of spades is our calling range, of course, but yeah, we don't call any 10, we can fold all our 10s here with no problems. We just defend with if we have at least a decent top pair like queen 9. I think the bottom range is this one, queen 9, top pair and open-ended. It's the worst and we are defending. Yeah. Surprisingly, we have a flush draw. Okay, I was surprised to see that we defend with a jack, but obviously when you have a jack and a flush draw, we defend. But yeah, it's nice. Let's move on. Let's play a couple more hands, nothing more. One more, I think, is enough. I don't want to make this video too long. I think small is best. We check. And he checks back. Should we donk bet here, lead out? Maybe sometimes we do on the 6, but I don't think that much. So yeah, I'm just gonna throw the check. We have a 92, which makes it close probably, but yeah, I think still check. Ooh. Okay. And on the river, I would still check. We have showdown value. No need to turn this hand to bluff, I think. And indeed, we bluff this. Well, we value bet. I don't know if we're bluffing or value betting here. Let's see. We are betting small, so we are probably doing a small value bet, which is fine. Yeah, sorry to finish with a small mistake, but yeah, I mean, all in all, we didn't did that bad, and I hope you like this kind of content. I will create more of it. If you have any feedback or if you think about ways I can improve this content, please comment and I will be more than happy to listen to your feedbacks. And thanks for watching. See you next time.